I'm Chris Berman. Got a lot of games to cover. Let's get at it. In our first game this week, we had the Titans walk away with a 6-point victory. Terrence Newman had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. Chad Johnson had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Bengals beat the Ravens. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Beck is on the move as he gets a contract for what can only be referred to as crazy money. 4 years, $5.3 million, plus a $1.6 million signing bonus with the Ravens.
In the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., we had the Redskins lose by just a single point. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Tom Nalen might be the biggest loss on this list. He'll be out for 5 weeks. In front of you, we've got the NFC list. And as you can see, they could form their own MASH unit. Chad Beasley sticks out on this list as one of the more costly injuries. Doctors confirming the worst this week, a torn hamstring. And that'll put him out for 9 weeks. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
Bears, Giants. Eli Manning is in the I formation at his own 18-yard line, but no, he's a receiver. Takes the quick spin, spins through one, 6 points. The Giants win this one by the final score of 24-23. Down in the Georgia Dome, we had the Falcons end up on the right side of an 11-point game. The Eagles' defense held their opponents to under 100 rushing yards in their win at Tempe, Arizona. The Packers won on the road and will now head home to meet the Broncos. Starvin' Marvin Harrison had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. Reggie Williams pulled down 100-plus receiving yards and helped his Jaguars beat the Raiders. Jets, Broncos. Lamont Jordan is backed up in his own territory. He tries to bounce outside. He'll have the first down. Shakes another tackle, goes down the sidelines. Wait a minute. Yes, the ref said his feet were in. He could go all the way, 73 yards. The Jets go on to win this by the final score of 35-32. In San Diego, right by Coronado Bay, we had the Chargers get nipped by 3 points. Over at Arrowhead Stadium, we had the Chiefs narrowly coming out on top by 5. The Browns' defense held their opponents to under 100 passing yards in their win at Pro Player Stadium. The Panthers won at home, but will take to the road next week to meet the Buccaneers. And last but not least, we had the 49ers come away victorious. So as usual, plenty of surprises around the NFL. And heck, we've just gotten to week 1. My primetime players' game balls go out to these gentlemen, each one with a fine start to the season. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.